(151), send medical, and 110. I need a 4th entry. I got a female down in the garage. Broomfield Police! Broomfield Police! Oh, shit.
On the 14th of December 2023, in a quiet residential area of Broomfield, Colorado, police received a call requesting a safety check for a woman who had been unreachable for hours. The call was made by her husband, Daniel Krug, who said his family was being threatened by a dangerous stalker.
Hi there. My name is Dan Krug. I don't think this is an emergency, but this feels really weird.
Okay.
My wife isn't responding to text messages or phone calls.
Okay. When you talked to her about 3 hours ago, was she okay? What was she having? Medical things? Anything going on?
She asked me to pick up our daughter from school because she had to meet with Martinez.
Okay. So she was supposed to come into the PD and meet with Martinez?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay.
Just minutes after authorities arrived at the scene, the routine inspection quickly turned into a serious murder investigation. In the garage of the house, police discovered the body of Crystal Krug, 43, the mother of 3, with signs indicating she had been brutally attacked. Crystal Krug, also known as Crystal or Christy Krug, was born around 1,980 inches, the United States. She grew up in a stable family with close ties between its members. After growing up, Crystal pursued a serious academic path in science. She received specialized training in biochemical engineering, a field requiring logical thinking. In her personal life, Crystal married Daniel Krug, and they built a family in Broomfield, Colorado. They had 3 children together. On the surface, the Krug family appeared to be a stable, middle-class family. Both husband and wife were educated, had stable jobs, and their children were well cared for. However, over time, this marriage began to show serious cracks.
Crystal, how's her injury?
Yeah, nice to
Very
meet
good to
you.
meet you. I talked to Dr. Martinez, so I kind of have an
Yes.
idea what's going on.
Yes, I did as well. I did not see any markings on the car.
Okay.
You can see it's a little bit dirty, so I didn't see blood marks, but
This is rare, but if somebody does do something weird like this, it's usually obvious.
yeah.
I guess would be the
I know.
the least,
something
kind of the least.
From around September to October 2023, Crystal's life became extremely stressful as she became the target of a prolonged harassment campaign. Crystal constantly received threatening and obsessive messages and emails, and her daily activities were closely monitored. The sender identified himself as Anthony Holland, a former boyfriend from over 2 decades prior.
I have an ex from a very long time ago who has occasionally, over the last 20 years, found me on social media apps or whatever and contacted, and it's never been an issue until this month. So this month, I have received numerous text messages, and then today I got an email that is very threatening, threatening against both me and my family. And it escalated to the point that he took a recent picture of my husband at his work location. So the stalking is getting a little too aggressive at this point in time.
He took it himself?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's just the thing.
Okay.
So my last contact with this individual was 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. Ended on a social media app of messages back and forth, where I told him I was happily married. I had no interest in what he kept contacting me. He kind of blew things up and then blocked me. I blocked him, haven't heard from him since.
Okay.
This all started this month, and I have a whole log. I have all the text messages. I have the email. I have not responded or engaged at all. But the text messages started on October 2nd, asking to meet up, saying that he looked me up, quote, because I've never given him my phone number, I've never given him my email address, I've never given him any kind of contact information at all. He ended with that he hoped that I killed myself. Hadn't heard from him at all until today. Today he sent an email to me with a picture of my husband, asking if this was my husband. It's a recent picture of either today or within the last couple of days, because it's in his work location with snow on the ground. And saying that he hopes he drives real safe and that nothing gets in his tailpipe.
Okay.
And I again have not responded. So I'm very concerned for my safety. So I guess my question for you is there a course of action to possibly take that could potentially safeguard me from this individual? And I guess options I might have here.
What do you know about him? Like, do you know where he lives currently? Do you know?
So he is a bit of a drifter. Not that he's homeless or anything, but I went to, after early October, I paid for whatever background searches like on the internet that's only like a truth finder. It looks like he's all over the place. I don't see a current address in Colorado.
Okay.
But clearly he's in Colorado. And his very first text message to me said that he gets into Boulder every couple of weeks or something like that.
Okay.
So he's clearly in Colorado. I just don't know where. And the phone number that he texted me from, again, I will send you all information, including the phone number he texted me from and the email that he sent just today. But that isn't even registered to anybody. So I don't know if it's blocked or spoofed or what it is. And I wouldn't want to, my inclination is to not respond to this or engage with him at all for whatever delusions that he thinks that we're in some kind of relationship 20 years later, and I have never even seen him. It's just, this is a little obsessively strange.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And there could be like a slew of reasons of why it's kind of been sporadic over the years. We will never really know until we can try to maybe talk to him, but that's where we can start for right now.
Later, Crystal's husband, Daniel Krug, also proactively contacted the police to report a man who identified himself as Anthony Holland, whom he believed was stalking and threatening his family and endangering his wife.
About this Anthony guy, do you think he's the kind of person to actually do this stuff, or do you think it's somebody else?
I've never met him.
Yeah. Just a few contacts over the years directly to her, but nothing.
I have never met him, never interacted via any social media platform. All I know about him is what she has related to me. Yeah. So snippets from the past and then more information over the last few weeks.
Sure.
But that's it.
Yeah.
So I genuinely can't answer that.
Crystal then reported to the police that she had noticed an unusual pipe protruding from her car and feared that the stalker might have attached a tracking device to monitor her movements.
I don't know where he's following from.
Okay.
I can only assume a tracker, based on the fact that he could show up there, and I don't see vehicles unless he's like stationed out like on corners. He's really on the street to know when I'm leaving.
Okay.
But,
Nobody, like no car that keeps popping up that you can think of that's like, hey, it's weird, I saw X car or anything like that.
Well, I ran a background check on him,
Okay.
and I know what vehicle he drives, and I never see that vehicle. But it's a nondescript vehicle.
The Camry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he could be switching vehicles as well if he's
Sure.
having fun trading with a friend. So,
And so this would be my next question.
yeah.
Are you sure he is actually putting eyes on you and following you, or is he just saying stuff that's specific but general enough that you're like, ooh. Like,
So the only way that I could think of that this event that he would be able to say what he did without putting eyes on me is if he had a tracker on my phone and my phone picked up literally in that building and it didn't pick up any of the other
Okay.
surrounding buildings. But otherwise, like where I parked and then where I went to tell me that I went into my dentist.
Yeah, that's
on
a
that
little
street when
weird.
there's like so many other businesses there. The only other one is that he had taken a picture of my husband getting out of his vehicle.
Where?
In Denver.
Okay.
And was like within
That's
like
a
a certain
little-
range. So
that's a
that's the
little
only one that I have that's confirmation that like
Okay.
he would have seen.
Crystal even proactively documented the entire timeline of events in an Excel file and provided this document to the police to assist in the investigation.
Yes, it's been a little harrowing, I gotta say. For the most part, you know, like, anything that I had interactions before, I have never dealt with like this kind of level in like a online version, and I think to myself of like advice that I give to my kids, like watch out for online people, and I'm like, this is exhausting. This is real, like I can't believe like any kids would be dealing with stuff like this that comes from all directions at any time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just, it's a lot, and it has definitely made me like paranoid everywhere I go, unfortunately. So
Yeah, no, I can completely understand that.
yeah. Oh, and I keep trying to remind myself this is intending to be terrorizing. This is intending to scare me. Okay, in this timeline, we dated summer of '99.
Okay.
Very briefly. Like there was a breakup somewhere here, like in the fall, so I did this kind of like also, but you could see like way over here. Last contact I ever had with him where he tried to reach out to me personally, saw him in person, would have been like in the spring of 2001. Everything here you're going to see in question marks because I'm like, about? I'm just trying to remember like where I was living and where I had kids at the time because it was pretty alarming,
Yeah.
right? Where he's like, we're meant to be together and my family loves that we're talking. And I'm like, whoa, you think that we're like in a relationship?
Right.
So I shut it down real hard. I said, this is really creepy for me. You need to stop. I'm married, happily married with children. You need to stop. And he got like real emotional, real hurt. It wasn't angry, but it was hurt and real like over the top emotions. And then blocked me on, because you can see when somebody blocks you on Facebook. And I'm like, good. And I blocked him, and I'm like, and then I shut down Facebook entirely before the pandemic. So like there was no way to get a hold of me on any kind of old email address or old way, and that's when this starts.
Okay.
So I like hopefully this kind of gives a gauge of just how ridiculous this is. So this all started back up again out of the blue. Again, he did not have my cell phone number ever, because the number I have, even though I've had it forever, was after these contacts, right? So like he never had my phone number or my email, though I have to tell you, I have a really unique name. It's really easy to find me online.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like really easy to find me. So he probably could have done just a comprehensive Google search. But what is important is that it was period, it started October 2nd and 3rd. The only thing that was really alarming about this one was I was like, what do you mean you looked me up? And I immediately got a sense of this something is not, especially after this last interaction where I'm like, you're pretty delusional and you're coming out again of the woodworks and now going above and beyond to really find me. And then when I didn't respond, and you'll see, so this is on Monday at 1, and when I don't respond, then immediately the next day it just keeps going. Just a lot of like very sexually explicit, very graphic, very just like poke the bear kind of thing. And then trying to prove to me that he can follow us.
Yeah.
He doesn't ever mention my kids, by the way. He'll never even acknowledge my kids. Even like when back in like when my daughter was first born, like he won't even acknowledge kids. So and that's I think the only thing working for me, maybe kind of in the moment, is that I don't think my kids are in danger.
During the investigation, the Broomfield Police Department received another call, this time from Daniel, Crystal's husband, reporting a break-in at their home. An officer was dispatched to the scene to investigate.
I ran out at 4:15, 4:20.
Okay.
So I left. I watched the garage door closing, not necessarily closed.
Sure. Okay.
My wife drove that point home on me. Ran up to the store. I came back about 4:50, 4:55.
Okay.
As I came down, the door was open.
The bigger one or the third?
The double bay door.
Okay.
So as I pulled in, I saw someone, I think it was a guy, but it was so fast.
Yeah.
Blue jeans, gray shirt, run out, jump over my gate, and take off that way.
Got it. Okay.
I cared less about following him than getting inside and checking on my kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
My daughter is adamant no one came in the house.
Okay.
She never heard the garage door open. She was in the living room right next to it.
Okay.
My wife and I tested her, and I opened and closed the garage door, and she couldn't hear it over the TV anyway.
Okay. Did you notice any tools or anything missing? That's a pretty common item. No.
Okay. It's all basic tools anyway, nothing fancy.
Sure.
No tools missing. The bikes are all hanging on the wall still. None of those are gone.
Got it.
Skis are in there. Golf clubs. Everything seems to be there.
Okay.
Except a spare key.
The house key. Okay.
After some time investigating, Broomfield police began to notice inconsistencies in Daniel Krug's testimony. When reviewing a private interview Daniel gave to police in November 2023, at a time when Crystal was still receiving inappropriate harassing messages, investigators noticed several discrepancies. The person Crystal accused of stalking was supposedly her ex-boyfriend, Anthony Holland, but in the messages and emails, he used multiple names and identities, including the nickname Kickman and the name Anthony. This constant change of identity, along with the inconsistencies in Daniel's account, led police to suspect that the stalker story might not be as simple as it initially appeared.
So I guess give me the background that you are aware of with Anthony.
How far back?
Well, my understanding is Christine was dating him way back in like 1999, so I don't know whatever information you have over the years.
She dated him prior to her relationship with me. So that ended sometime before summer of 2001. That's when Crystal and I started dating. She and I got married in 2007. Fast forward, still married. I know that so they had dated at some point when we were living in our old house, and again, this is in her log that she's given you. He had reached out to her via Facebook, wanted to connect, and she was very open about that with me at the time that he had reached out. She accepted the friend request. You know, who doesn't have friends from high school and college that you don't really talk to? Then he started saying some creepy things, song lyrics, talking about romantic movies. She shut down the conversation with him. She blocked him. I don't know if he blocked her, and kind of went away. And every so often, I can't say there was any real pattern or theme to any of it. He would reach out to her again. Again, always via social media. That stopped when she got rid of social media. I feel like that was pre-COVID, that she dropped her Facebook account, and then the series of events over the last few weeks.
Okay. Gotcha. And I guess at what point did she tell you that he recontacted her this last time?
It was either November 1st or November 2nd. It was after she had gotten a picture of me at work.
Okay.
That she brought me up to speed on that.
Gotcha. Okay. And the first contact that he initially made with her was back on October 2nd. I guess why that month gap, do you think, before she told you?
If I'm trying to remember from some of the details from the log that she's keeping. I'm guessing that it was creepy, but not real. You know, but lots of people are jerks online. Sure. Other than that, I'm sure she has mentioned to you that she and I are going through a rough patch, kind of on the rocks. So probably didn't seem that pressing until it was.
Daniel Krug's reaction clearly showed that the alleged stalking was having a profound impact on his mental state. His wife lived in fear, his family felt haunted, and Daniel himself was constantly confused, struggling to understand how things could have escalated to this point. Detective Andrew Martinez concluded the interrogation, but one detail in Daniel's testimony still troubled him. Daniel revealed that he was completely unaware of Crystal being stalked for almost a month. Only when Crystal showed him an email with a photo of him outside his workplace did Daniel become aware of the seriousness of the situation. This detail prompted Detective Martinez to delve deeper into their family relationship, and what he discovered was truly disturbing. The investigation revealed that the couple was going through a difficult period in their marriage. There were no signs of overt violence or direct conflict, but both were trying to resolve their differences, doing what they believed was best for their children and maintaining family stability. However, with the stalker seemingly having too much knowledge of their private lives, Martinez briefly considered a disturbing hypothesis. Could someone within the house be manipulating the entire situation? For a moment, the detective even considered the possibility that Daniel was orchestrating the harassment of his wife as a twisted way to salvage their failing marriage. However, this hypothesis was quickly dismissed. There was no concrete evidence to support that idea, and at the time, all signs still pointed directly to Anthony Holland, Crystal's ex-boyfriend. Crystal herself firmly believed that her ex-boyfriend was behind the prolonged harassment campaign. Throughout November 2023, the messages and threats continued to escalate. Crystal diligently documented everything, regularly monitored security camera footage, and lived in a state of heightened vigilance. By early December, Crystal finally received a message that offered some relief. The self-proclaimed stalker wrote, "Hi, beautiful. I can't visit you anymore. No more Colorado time trips. My girlfriend doesn't want us to contact each other without her. She said that after you get rid of him, you'll have the police arrest me." For the first time, after weeks of tension, Crystal and her family felt a sense of relief. Everything seemed to indicate that Anthony was backing down, possibly even having left Colorado. However, later events revealed that this was merely a final diversion, a carefully calculated move designed to lull the victim into a false sense of security right before the perpetrator strikes. On the morning of the 14th of December 2023, Daniel left home for work, while Crystal took the children to school as usual. During that short time, someone approached the front door, taped over the Ring doorbell camera, and quietly entered the house. A few minutes later, Crystal returned home. She drove into the garage, stopped, and got out of the car, completely unaware that someone was waiting inside. As soon as the car door closed, the attacker struck her. He hit Crystal hard on the head, then stabbed her, leaving her lying motionless, blood staining the garage floor. That morning, Daniel Krug repeatedly called and texted his wife from work but received no response. After hours of no contact, he called the local police to request a safety check at home.
Broomfield dispatch is meeting.
Hi there. My name is Dan Krug. I don't think this is an emergency, but this feels really weird.
Okay.
My wife isn't responding to text messages or phone calls.
Okay.
We've had threats against us. We have both been targeted by a stalker.
Okay.
Threats have been made against my life.
Okay.
And threatening to kidnap her, which is why I'm nervous that she's not answering.
Just minutes after Daniel's call, police dispatched an officer to Krug's home to check on Crystal's safety. Almost simultaneously, Daniel called Crystal's mother, asking her to check on her daughter, a call that inadvertently plunged her into the most agonizing moment of her life. While she was on her way home, the police officer arrived at the scene first. The house appeared perfectly quiet, and from the outside, the officer detected no signs of anything unusual. However, before leaving, a premonition made him stop. He moved his patrol car closer to inspect the garage area where he was about to be confronted with a tragic and horrifying scene.
.151, send medical, and 110. I need a 4 sentry. I got a female down in the garage. Broomfield Police! Broomfield Police!
Oh, shit.
The police officer entered the garage and found Crystal unconscious with a severe head injury. He immediately performed CPR, attempting resuscitation for several minutes without success, before opening the garage door to allow paramedics access. However, instead of paramedics, the first person to arrive was Crystal's mother, and she witnessed a scene no mother would ever want to see.
Hello? Hello, ma'am. I need you to stay out, please.
Okay.
Crystal's mother only managed a fleeting glance inside the garage, just enough to see an officer performing CPR on her daughter.
Cam! I need you to come over here for a minute, okay? So we can work. I understand. I need you to come on over here, okay?
Okay.
I know. Do me a favor, go and sit inside so we can work on her, okay? So we can try to get her the help, okay? What's your name?
Linda.
Linda?
Yeah.
Okay. My name's Officer Zamora, okay? I'll come out here and I'll give you some news as soon as I can.
Please tell me she's okay.
I have no idea just yet, but I know that they're working on her. The officer in there has been working CPR on her, and I think she's doing okay,
My
okay?
husband called.
He did. He's the one that called us and let us know, okay? Go ahead, take a seat for a minute. I'll be right back here, okay?
I need to tag out, man. She's got a head wound. I don't know if it's from falling or something else, but probably falling, but I don't know, man. It's a good one. Yep. Husband said there was a stalker threatening to kidnap her, so I don't know.
Oh, she's not.
No, she's unresponsive. Decent head wound.
Where we have more room in the bed.
Immediately after Crystal's body was discovered in the garage, the entire area was sealed off and designated as a serious crime scene.
No.
Your Grace,
When Daniel returned home and confronted the crime scene, he broke down in tears, appearing distressed and distraught. Immediately afterward, officers began initial investigative steps.
I didn't protect her. I was supposed to protect her.
I know a lot of questions right now. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of answers for you. But I know what you want to do right now. I think you can allow it. Okay, it's to maintain the integrity of the investigation. That what they did. Okay? So, along those lines, I know it seems like a long time, but it's no time like now. We'd like to search for evidence so we can do an investigation and try and get into those facts.
Yes, go.
Do you understand what I'm asking you to do?
No, but go.
Okay. If you would even the soft form, so I have in writing. I understand you verbally gave it. Print your name there. We are asking for permission to search your property and everything therein. Try to find out who did what.
You need to sit down.
Investigators coordinated with family members to pick up Dan and Crystal's children from school and bring Daniel to the police station for questioning. Simultaneously, authorities provided support and comfort to Crystal's mother and the children during this traumatic time.
Dan, I know this is the last thing in the world that you ever want to experience. We're trying to do our very best to figure everything out.
From the outset, Dan agreed to hand over his family's camera system to the police and voluntarily provided a DNA sample. However, shortly afterward, when investigators began asking tough questions, Dan unexpectedly revealed that he suspected Crystal had been lying to him.
What's your guys' interactions been like leading up to this?
Tested. I felt like she was keeping secrets.
Oh boy.
She didn't tell me about Big Man. She keeps disappearing for hours. I told her I was supposed to talk to the didn't believe it. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I told her she can't keep secrets. I asked for a divorce.
What did she say when you told her?
She said no now.
What sort of secrets was she keeping?
Kickman. For a month before she told me. She would leave and be gone for so long. Last night, no, not last night. No rehearsal last night. Tuesday. She left 2 hours early to get home. No reason, just 2 hours early. She kept leaving early, coming home late. I asked where. She wouldn't tell me.
did she say?
She said sometimes she had to pick up dinner, or talk to Lars, or anything. Never a straight answer.
And you mentioned earlier that she didn't tell you about something kicks. Which one was that?
Kickman.
Kickman.
That's what we call the stalker. Doesn't deserve a name.
Okay, which
came up with Kickman because
I remember having that conversation.
Molly was going to kick his.
I remember having that conversation with you. What? Do you remember that email address that she didn't tell you about?
It's in the log.
Okay.
I didn't have to remember it's in the log. Something kicks.
All right.
You have the log, right?
I do. I do have the log. Make sure I'm getting the timeline right again. She didn't tell you about this a month before it even got reported to me. Or was there a new something that you were unaware of between the time it was reported to me and now?
I don't remember when she went to you. I don't remember. She, I'm visualizing a log. She got, Kickman reached out early October. I don't know when. She told me after Halloween when she got the picture of me.
Daniel consistently maintained and firmly believed that the stalker and murderer of his wife was Jack Anthony Holland. However, investigators stated that they had directly contacted and spoken with Anthony Holland on the very day Crystal was murdered.
I'm going to ask you a couple of names to see if you recognize any names. Okay. Have you ever heard of the name Crystal Krug? She may have been Grimsrod when you knew her.
Yeah.
And do you know a Daniel Krug?
No.
No? How do you know Crystal?
She was an ex-girlfriend.
She's an ex-girlfriend? How long's ex? Like how long ago?
1999.
Oh, so like a long while ago.
She was my very first girlfriend ever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. When was the last time you talked to Crystal? Has it been a minute?
It's been a minute, yeah.
Like since you moved from Durango?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have been what, back in 2014?
Yeah.
Have you had any contact with anybody in that area since? Anybody, or have they contacted you at any time?
No.
I'm going to give you a phone number, and it's to a sergeant with the Broomfield Police Department.
Okay.
He would like you to reach out and talk to him.
All right.
They have an incident. I don't know the full details of their incident out there, and so I'll let him talk to you about that aspect. He had asked us to come out here to your house and talk with you. They were debating on, you do have an active warrant out of Broomfield Police Department, and they were debating on if they were going to have us arrest you or not. They are not going to have us arrest you on it. I'm going to advise you of the fact that you do have a warrant out of Colorado, and you can talk to this sergeant about the details of it, if that makes sense, when you call and talk to him.
At the time of his police questioning, Anthony Holland showed signs of intoxication, but at the same time appeared genuinely shocked and bewildered upon hearing the news that Crystal had been murdered.
Yeah, I don't know why I did.
So that's just because you got that active warrant. I don't know the details of the stalking warrant. It's a stalking warrant. You can talk to him about that as well. It's just when you call that number, that's his cell phone, just talk to him.
Verification of shopping receipts and other data revealed that Anthony was not near Broomfield, Colorado at the time of Crystal's death. In fact, he was living in Utah, making it impossible for Anthony to be the killer, and that was the initial conclusion reached by the police.
Kickman is 6.5 hour drive from here. There's no way he could have made that drive. If he flew, we would have record of that. That doesn't show up on any sort of flight record through the FBI, DEA, Homeland Security, anything like that. And then, in fact, he was contacted in his house, severely intoxicated.
All this time that we've been looking for him, for the protection order, and you just found him today, like that?
Because I've been looking at you, but I've been waiting for these records to come back.
We've been chasing the wrong dog.
Am I under arrest? It sounds like you're accusing me.
We have a lot of information that points your direction, and we were hoping that you could provide a legitimate explanation other than it wasn't me.
I have two different voices going through my head right now. I have my brother Matthew. Yeah, I've mentioned him. He's the sheriff's lieutenant. And I have his voice saying, talk to the police. And in typical cop fashion, he married a prosecutor. So I have Lynn's voice in my head going, get a lawyer. I just want this to be done. I don't want to go home. I just don't want to be here.
But what's going on with you guys? Because it seems like there's been a lot of stress on your relationship.
We are not in a good place.
Okay.
We have not been in a good place for a while.
Okay.
I told her I wanted counseling. She said no.
And when was that? Sort of ultimatum? Long time ago?
Yeah, months.
Okay.
We live together. We have joint finances. We obviously co-parent the kids. We do maintain separate bedrooms. That's kind of where we are in the ebb and flow of a relationship.
Okay.
So that it's tough enough to say this. Just let me get it out.
Sure.
So, other than talking about the kids, there hasn't been a lot of dialogue for a little while. I can't put a time frame on it. It hurt me that she didn't tell me about the stalker when it started, but she brought me in right away once he sent her a picture of me. I think that was Thanksgiving, Halloween.
Okay.
So she told me the next day, and I was definitely hurt and angry that she was keeping that as a secret. She said that she'd been confiding in her brother Lars, and so
Did she ever tell you why she didn't tell you that?
Because she and I were not in a good and healthy place. Well, not the phrase I should say. So she was confiding more in him. As you know, once she told me I wanted access to her logs. I wanted to know what the conversations were with Martinez. And at that point, she brought me fully up to speed, and I saw the horrible messages. I saw the ad, all that crap. And that's when she and I started working on game plans. Again, you know, what do we do to protect family, to protect the kids? You know, define your threat level, so that we had a clear plan of attack. We could just say, we're at nuclear, that's a full lockdown, here's what it means. We're at red, here's what that means. I got to a point where it wasn't an ultimatum, but it was I had her as a partner to protect the family, but it didn't feel like a partner who valued me. And I told her at that point, I told her I didn't want to die for someone who didn't care about me anymore.
That's really hard.
And I told her I wanted a divorce.
And when did that conversation happen?
Oh, weeks ago, before Thanksgiving.
Okay. And how did she take that?
Angry. Obviously. Mostly anger that I said it now, with everything else going on. So she said she didn't want to talk about it until all of this was done. And then he got quiet, and we just kind of sat in that. And so we kind of alternated conversations between how do we protect the kids, how do we secure the house, how do we start the process.
So what, can I just ask, what do you think happened today with Christine? What do you think? What's your theory?
I don't know.
Well, you gotta have one. I mean, I'm sure a million different thoughts have run through your mind. What do you think happened?
I left. She was in the kitchen. She would have had whatever meetings that she had. And then she said she was meeting with you. But you know nothing about that, so I have no idea what that is. What's his name? The other detective said that the cameras were turned off. That shouldn't happen. The only way that the cameras can be turned off is through the app. One of us has to hit the button. Internet outage will cause something, but that doesn't turn them off. It just interrupts the feed for a couple minutes. He said they were turned off, and one of them looks like it has something on it. So, in my brain, I'm thinking someone made a move against her. I don't know where the dog is. He's somewhere in the house. Really jumpy, skittish dog. She has a gun that she carries around. It's always in one of 3 places. Well, I guess 4. It's either on her. She has I think 3 different holsters now. It's either on her. If she's in her office, it's on the filing cabinet directly behind her. If she's anywhere else on the first floor, it's on here, the high counter next to the plants. Always. It's either here, or if she's upstairs, it is sitting next to the headboard. So, in my brain, someone came to the door. It's Christmas time. I have Amazon packages being delivered every damn day. Someone came to the door. She doesn't usually answer the door. But she must have, because she must have. So in my brain, the story that I have is someone came to the door. Maybe she went outside to get a package, and they must have come in. And she's a fighter. She is strong. She would have fought. That's why I warned them when I was at the house, and I asked, did she get any shots off? She has a gun. She just went through the concealed carry class. She has an appointment to get her license. She had to have been surprised, but without a doubt, she fought.
How do you explain the cameras being turned off then? If it's some mystery man. Because I'm also pretty sure that Google's going to be able to tell us what device turned those cameras off.
But it can't be mine. I didn't turn them on.
But that's not all.
So some of that information that we've been able to receive today is a little bit, I don't know, concerning, I guess. The Gmail account that, and you can speak more specifically.
And that text now number we were talking about, the number that he initially texted Christine from. The Gmail account, the Kickman account that you guys initially received with the photo of you in it, and the phone number, those originated through their IP addresses at your office.
It doesn't make any sense. Well, he took the photo of me at my office.
Right. But both of those accounts originated from IP addresses that list back to your office.
I don't know what to do with that.
Well, tell us about the IP address. Do you know anything about the network or anything at your work? Or
I do money.
Yeah, I know, but like here, I believe me, I know nothing about tech stuff. That's why I keep looking to him to explain this crap. I still know
there are Wi-Fi access throughout the facility for employees, and there's public Wi-Fi access throughout the entire facility.
Okay.
CPHE guest, I think is what it is. And we literally post the passwords in every single meeting room.
Okay.
The board meeting I was running yesterday, I can literally pull up the video because I have to record it. And on a table in the back of the room, giant paper that says what the Wi-Fi is and what the password is.
Okay.
What's the IP address on your computer on your desk?
I couldn't tell you.
investigators discovered serious irregularities in the digital data related to the threatening messages and emails Crystal received in the weeks leading up to her murder. Retrieval from digital search warrants revealed that numerous anonymous email accounts and phone numbers used to send harassing messages, including those under the name Anthony Holland, were created and accessed from the same IP address. Notably, these IP addresses trace directly back to the internet network at Daniel's workplace, part of the Colorado Department of Public Health System. When confronted with this finding in the interrogation room, Daniel appeared confused and unable to offer a reasonable explanation. He claimed he was not tech-savvy, stating that his workplace network had multiple public access points and that many people could use the Wi-Fi. However, investigators quickly pointed out that the timing of account creation, messaging, and data access closely matched Daniel's work schedule and location, rendering his argument unconvincing. Furthermore, police determined that the messages were sent shortly after the photos of Daniel at work were created, suggesting the sender was physically present at the location and familiar with his schedule and personal life, a nearly impossible feat if the perpetrator were actually living in another state.
The Wi-Fi is and what the password is.
Okay. What's the IP address on your computer on your desk?
I couldn't tell you.
And then the interview kind of turns on Dan.
Because I'm going to throw this idea out there. Right? You know Anthony has reached out to her in the past, number of times.
She's been very open about that, yes.
Right. The last time was 2016-ish. He had asked her at one point if she wanted to have sex.
I think he's approached her multiple times.
Right. So this next time, if there's any bit of question about infidelity, whether it's with Anthony or anybody else, we might create an account to see if we can create a facade or see if Christile's actually interested in Anthony. So we ask her and push the bounds a little bit and see if that will confirm our suspicions of infidelity. You don't get the response and the openness you once did for about 28 days, from October 2nd to October 31st. So you amp it up a little bit. Send a photo of yourself to her at an account you created. See what her response is.
I mean, the IT department, in fact, I can go check on where we're at with those records, but a lot of this stuff is going to shine through. My hope is just that we can at least be honest about those things and agree that maybe this started out the way that it was reported and then maybe it turned into something different.
Because that would suggest that I would put my children through this. We were drilling the kids on what to do if we said run. That they had to pair up, they had to run. I'm looking into counseling for the kids. Figure out when the heck to start that. I get the narrative you're putting together, but it alleges that I would do this to my children.
But I think ultimately what happened today would bring you the closest to your children that you've probably ever been in your mind.
I'm very close to my children. I take it to dance class. We hang out. We do our puzzles together. And I play our games. He prefers sleeping next to me rather than next to Christine. And I read her Harry Potter. I love and adore my children.
You're afraid to lose time with them if you get the divorce.
Well, provide us a different explanation then. We know it's not Kickman. If you were watching these facts unfold in front of you in a movie, what would you say happened?
There has to be someone else.
That was able to turn off the cameras, that was able to access a password-protected system to turn off cameras, that was able to use your IP address from your work to create accounts, to send messages and photos, to act as a stalking suspect. Well, tell me. Help me make sense of it.
I don't know, I'm not the one who does this. I'm analytical at work, and I read and write fiction at home. I don't do crime drama. I don't know what it is. I want to go see my children. I've explained this to others in my family when bad things happen. You don't scatter. I want to see my children. Are we done here?
Well, that's up to you. I mean, I think we still have a lot of unanswered questions, but I mean, I'd like to know what happened this morning. I'd like to know
Me too.
what caused you to get so upset to hurt your wife, because I believe that's what happened. I believe that you've been because there's no other logical explanation.
I want to know what happened to her. Did she fight? Did she get shots off? Where was she in the house? I have Linda, who said they were doing CPR in the garage. And that's all I know. So tell me, did she fight? Did she get shots off? Where is she in that house?
We haven't been there to know. And there's only one person in this room that can tell us. Detective King Solomon and I have been here with you.
I think you know the answer to all those questions. And I think I think that the evidence will show us that, but we're not there to look at it because we're hopeful that you're going to tell us the truth about what happened, and finally show your wife that you truly do love her by coming clean on all this stuff.
And there has to be someone else. There has to be. You've asked me like, I can't even count how many times. Is there a boyfriend? There fucking has to be.
Why would the boyfriend kill her though? Because if the boyfriend wanted to be with her, I don't know, I've seen a lot of crime drama. I know you don't, but if the boyfriend wanted to be with her, he would want to eliminate you. And I don't think they can mistake you for him. Or her. I mean, I don't think you guys look alike. So, I mean, why would a boyfriend who is spending time with, let's just use your theory, probably having sex with, probably good sex because it's a fair sex, probably hearing her talk about how she wants to divorce you and is making plans to divorce you, why in God's name would that boyfriend then come over to her house and kill her?
Maybe she got cold feet. Maybe she was tired. of that. Maybe she had two. I don't know.
I think you got confirmation or found out that she had a boyfriend this morning, or something happened that pissed you off, and you did something that you regret now because you can't go back. And you can't go back to stalking her secretly, or pretending to be her stalker, or making plans, having cooperation with one another, although it's not romantic, having cooperation with one another to fight together against Kickman. That's what I think happened. And I think it's a shame that you're not being more honest about it, because your wife deserves it.
I've answered all of your questions that I can. Please let me know when I can return to my house. I need to figure out what the heck to do for a dog. I need to take care of my children. You have your theory. It is wrong. Please find the right one.
Immediately after the interview ended, Dan left the police station. However, before he disappeared from the investigator's sight, every gesture, expression, and action of Dan was fully recorded by the officer's body camera. This was a rare moment where investigators could observe his most natural reaction, believing he had temporarily passed the interrogation.
I know you're doing your job. I'm trying really hard to be out. Yeah. I really do. I want you to find who did this. Because I don't. You don't believe that? Fine. Just don't stop looking elsewhere. Focus on me. Okay? Find the I don't care if you capture him. I just want the name. He took my children's mother for Christmas. They're never going to get over that. All the therapy that I could ever get them. Find him. I don't care if you capture him. I don't care if you kill him. Find him. I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't know what I would testify when you convict him. I don't know. Find him. As a father. Don't just assume it's me. Keep looking. Thank you. We won't give up. We won't let it go. Tonight, like I explained, all the facts point in your direction. But that doesn't mean anything. From a professional standpoint, that's what I thought.
After leaving his initial interview on the 14th of December 2023, Daniel Krug was briefly released. However, approximately 48 hours later, once crucial evidence was complete and consolidated, police issued an arrest warrant. Daniel was arrested on the 16th of December 2023, ending his brief period of being outside the courtroom.
You want to toss, make sure we're good on the car?
You call custody?
Yep.
Look at this.
What's that?
That's Will and Testament.
Is it?
No. He's like, you're gonna fucking off himself or some shit.
Is there a confession in there?
Hey, Dan. Do you want me to tell your kids that you killed their mother, or do you want somebody else to? Okay.
Daniel Krug was indicted on serious charges, including first-degree murder, stalking, and criminal impersonation. The case quickly attracted significant public attention due to its exceptionally complex nature and the elaborate planning that spanned months before the murder. Throughout the trial preparation process, the prosecution focused on building a case based on a series of digital evidence, including IP data, phone burners, Google search history, home security camera footage, and testimony from witnesses and digital forensic experts. The prosecutor argued that Daniel was not only the murderer of his wife, but also the mastermind behind the fabricated stalker story to mislead investigators. Conversely, Daniel Krug's defense argued that the case lacked direct physical evidence such as a murder weapon or DNA at the scene, and that the evidence presented by the prosecution was only indirect. They maintained Daniel's innocence, arguing that the digital data could be misinterpreted or exploited by others. The formal trial took place in April 2025. During the trial, the jury heard detailed accounts of how the threatening messages and emails were created, how the camera system was disabled at the precise time of the crime, and Daniel's deliberate attempt to fabricate alibi after murdering his wife. In particular, the testimony of digital experts played a crucial role in proving that all the evidence pointed back to Daniel, not any other stalker. After nearly 2 days of deliberation on the 17th of April 2025, the jury unanimously concluded that Daniel Krug was guilty. The verdict affirmed that this was a premeditated murder, concealed by a sophisticated harassment campaign spanning several months. The trial concluded with Daniel Krug being sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, officially closing one of the most haunting and complex family cases in Colorado in recent years. The Crystal Krug case illustrates that danger sometimes doesn't come from strangers, but from those closest to us. Signs of control and psychological manipulation can silently escalate into deadly violence. Thanks to digital evidence, the truth was ultimately revealed. Justice may be delayed, but it never disappears.